Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is KarQ. Welcome to the KarKives, where we do patch notes, gameplay review and gameplay, and variety content, whatever I want. Today, I want to talk about something called the Experimental Card Tournament, which is experimental card changes and a little tournament happening.
Remember,
sponsored by the Overwatch League.
You can always blame Fran for these changes. Pepe laugh.
True, they're not my changes, that's for sure. Thanks, Archon. These aren't going live, I know, but the whole point of an experimental card is that it's experimental. This is suggested by a selective group of people, not the developers this time, to kind of see what they would change and what people voted on, and then they're going to have a tournament sponsored by the Overwatch League and try these changes out. So, a very experienced and opinionated group of people. The players in the panel included Sabiol B, caster Alan Guy, content creator Jaewon Kim, Fran, Soon, Space, and see what their changes are. I'm not going to watch the full video, but the summary is that they made a bunch of changes, spitballing back and forth, and this is what they came up with and voted on, and people are going to try this out next week. None of this may go live, but we'll see how it turns out. I'm just going to give you my thoughts on what they suggested. All right, first, they suggested Anna gets max ammo increase back to 14. I'm down for that. And Nano Boost can be used on herself by Interact Key. Okay, this might not work because you just have to bind it to something else. I'm always down for a self nano. I think that's a really good change. I've always been a fan of that. I don't think that she needs 14 ammo again. I think 12 is fine. But doing this is cool. Just don't put it on Interact. How the hell are you going to take a Symmetra teleporter? Right? If I have a nano boost and my sim TPs, what takes priority? Just bind it to a different button. That's my only change to that. Ash Dynamite, I'm down for this. I still think Dynamite is really, really good. Ash is still great. Bob is low-key a really good ultimate still. It's a full zoning tool. Extra body, can capture a point and pull people off certain areas. Bob is really good, and nerfing the Dynamite charge. Dynamite also does like initial burst 100, and then it ticks like what, 50 damage over time? 150 if you land it, which is crazy. So nerfing the initial base damage is fine. Makes the Bob build a little slower. That's fine. Ash is good, so cool with that. Regen burst, I'm down with this. I think regen burst is Baptiste one of, it just makes Baptiste such a great AoE heal, and he already does so much by shooting the ground, so this is fine. Immortality no longer protects teammates to 20%, but instead to 1 health. I'm actually okay with this too. I'm fine with this. If it were up to me, I would just revert Baptiste back to the old ultimate window, like not the ultra wide one, and he would have been fine. But you know, this is fine. This is actually interesting because 20% health is still decent for most heroes, especially tanks, right? If you're a 400 HP tank like Zarya, what is that? You get 80 health on low health, but now 1 health. Immortality still can save your life, but like you're basically at super high risk of dying. Plus, Lamp isn't even an ultimate ability. It's just an ability you can use. So I think this is actually pretty good. I'm down to see how this turns out. I dig this. It's still going to be a good ability to save someone in a pinch if they can save them and get them out of line of sight. So I'm fine with that. Bastion Self-Repair increases movement speed by 25% while in use. This is also pretty good. It encourages Bastion to actually move around a bit more. If you're taking damage, it encourages you to get up from your position, self-heal, walk into a different area and set up again. This is, you know, instead of being just like sit in one spot kind of Bastion, this is cool. Inspire healing removed when Brig is dead. I'm down with this. It reminds me of the caustic changes they made in Apex, where like once Caustic is dead, the gas disappears. So once Brig dies, that Inspire healing shouldn't be a thing. Kind of like Lucio's aura. When Lucio dies, the aura is no longer there because he's dead. So this is good for Brig. Booster, a little diva buff. Booster's duration increased to 3 seconds. This will actually allow her to travel really far. Most divas cancel their booster early right now and press jump at the end to get a little extra momentum at the end, to a little shimmy. So this just gives her more leeway to travel to where she needs to, dive where she needs to. I think Diva's actually in a pretty good spot right now. I don't know if I would actually change this, but again, this is experimental. We can see how this turns out. This might make her even like better than she already is, and I think she's fine. Doomfist, no changes. Yeah, Doomfist requires a team to shut him down. If you buff Doom in any way and he becomes a hero that, you know, he's a high risk, high reward hero, people have learned how to like adapt and deal with him a bit better lately, of course. Especially because Kree got the buff, and there's a lot of things that do stop him. But Yeah, Doom. This is okay. Oh, my game started. Okay, I gotta quickly finish this. Duplicate. Yes, Duplicate. I've always thought Echo's Duplicate was a really good ultimate, so now sending him back to half health is fine. This is a really cool screenshot. Oh my god, wait, it keeps going. This is long. Genji. Where did I end off at? Sorry. Interrupted the last part. Let's continue on to our thoughts here. After this cool screenshot, Genji, alternative fire spread. So reducing the spread, if we're keeping the same fire rate, that's pretty good. And if they're keeping the 15% nerf to his current charge, which is currently the live patch, every kill Genji gets during his ultimate, duration increased by 1 second. Very snowbally. Makes him more snowbally than normal. 1 second? He gets 3 kills, 3 extra seconds. 1 second is pretty tough because you can just get a big nanoblade, slice 2 people, and then you get 2 more seconds, which is 2 more swings. That's kind of OP. I don't know. Maybe 0.5. Like Master Yi. Oh yeah, I might want to bring chat back on screen. That's right. Thank you, Retro, for the 6 months. Yeah, I don't know, because this could... Genji's Blade's right now 6 seconds. If you get 5 kills, you're already at 11 seconds. Just kills, though, not assists. Maybe it's like he has to get the kill himself. Like him doing the final blow, maybe I can agree with, but... If you nerf, right now his ultimate's at 6 seconds. If you make Genji's Blade 5 seconds, I think that's fine. Make it 5. Make his Blade 5, and I'm okay with this. Alright, Hanzo, Dragon Strike. This is buffing the Hanzo's Dragon Strike movement speed increased by 20%. Wait, like, oh, the ultimate of the blue dragon is speeding up. Okay. And the damage is increased. Okay. Distance before the dragon form is... I mean, this isn't really... This would make it not eaten by D.Va, but D.Va eating it is already kind of rare in anyways, so this doesn't really change too much in my opinion. I think changing the movement speed of it is good if you want to buff the dragon, but you don't need to make the damage anymore. It's already very powerful on its own right. Good in a combo too. I think his ultimate's fine. Like if you just do this to his ultimate, I think it would make it better. It doesn't, I mean, it feels like something you only combo with grab, but good Hanzos know how to use Dragon Strike as a full zoning tool. You literally cut people off from standing in an entire area temporarily. If you use it strategically, Hanzo's Dragon Strike's actually a pretty decent ultimate, in my opinion. Very more powerful when comboed with stuff, but of course you can combo it with a lot of things like, you know, Sigma, Gravitic Flux, and Orisa Pulls. But I think increasing the speed of the dragon moving itself is already a huge buff in its own right, because it actually gets to be a tool that, because you know, you already, like Hanzo's with good awareness, good Sonics to sniff out positioning, like this is already a great buff. I don't think you need to increase the damage, and this is fine. I don't really think this makes too much of a difference. Anyways, Junkrat. Concussion. No, as a zoning tool, be less, I mean, the potential of dying is higher if it's faster. So like if you're clumped up together, like you don't have enough time to move out, it would force you to run away faster. There's more like urgency if you hear the Hanzo dragging, like let's say I'm playing behind defense King's Row behind the hotel, you know, where defenders play around the arch, and the Hanzo on offense decides to shoot it through the hotel, through the archway. If I'm back here, it's literally going to force us to have to walk forward, and then, you know, there's a lot more potential with Dragon Strike. I think this is fine. This is a good change. Junkrat, Concussion Mine, damage. Minimum damage. Okay, this is fine. That's whatever. Minimum damage. Lucio, sound wave. Wait, this is the boop. 4 to 6 seconds? That's an interesting change, right? Crossfade, radius increased. Okay, this makes his aura a bit wider now. Effectiveness is increased the closer you are, falling off to 50% at max range. The radius is... I'm okay with this and increase effectiveness. So I remember reading up, I don't think you need to change the boop. I think boop was fine. So I don't like this. this is interesting. I wanted people to think about ways to reward Lucio for speeding people up, because Lucio effective in Brawl is good having, because like the only way you build your ultimate fast is having a really good amp, and you can get a lot of healing juice and get a lot of ultimate charge. But then having amping speed isn't really rewarded as much. I was thinking distance traveled. If you amp speed, any teammates maxing out their distance traveled would reward some ult charge. Maybe, I don't know. I'm just spitballing ideas. Does that sound weird? It probably sounds a bit weird. Like, how do you? I mean, I guess you reward people with the effective amp speed by like allowing them to engage on them and, you know, killing them, and that is the reward in itself. But people were thinking about ways to reward Lucio for speeding people. People were suggesting that with, like, you know, tanks. The more damage you shield, the more ult charge or something. You get something out of it, but I don't know. Or the more distance, the more, if you amp speed and your teammates, like the further distance traveled, whether it's through steps or abilities with the amp speed, would somehow, I don't know, extend the cooldown a little bit, or sorry, shorten the cooldown, or do something to reward a good speed. That was something I was thinking of, but I don't know what kind of approach to go with that. Anyways, they don't need this one for sure. This one's, yeah. And then my idea with speed, but I don't know what to do with it. That would be abused between fights. Well, amp itself is already a really long cooldown, so. Sure, McCree's fine. Buff May's ammo again a little bit. That's fine too. May's like a buff away from being meta again, so you don't want to do too much. Killing blows reset GA cooldown. I mean, sure, I guess. Because Guardian Angel's already like, what, a 1 second cooldown? What? This doesn't really like do much, but it just is more of a meme change. Moira, no changes. Yeah, I think Moira, I feel like Moira could use something right now, but what could she use? Oh, it's 2 seconds. Sorry for GA. Okay. Yeah, you fly to someone, you pick someone off with your pistol, you get to fly again. Okay, whatever. I think you could actually... Okay, I don't know what to do with Moira. Whatever, I don't play Moira that much. I dislike playing Moira, so I have nothing of value to add to this hero. You know what Moira could use though? Maybe like instead of the drainage of her juice meter as much, or if you expend. I don't know. I'm not a Moira main, guys. This is some Emong Flats meme. Okay, Orisa. Orisa without like a Sigma or anything is kind of not great on her own anymore from all the shield health nerfs of her shield. So you're buffing it, but increasing the cooldown. Could try this out. They thought the fortified change would make her good, which definitely helped her, but it didn't make her meta by any stretch. So like one more buff on top of the stampeding no headshot fortify is very close to becoming a shield meta again. So I would take this one lightly, or be wary of this change. New passive, damage taken while airborne decreases by 5% and damage while taken on the ground increases. Oh, wait, this is actually kind of interesting. Good Pharaohs are like rarely on the ground anyways, so this is fine. Decreased by 5%. I might as well just do 10% at this point. I mean, good Pharaohs are always in the sky, but if she's getting permanently pocketed, any sort of damage decrease and getting like hard pocketed is going to be very hard to kill in the air. Console, oh yeah, Console might cry. If Console reads this, they actually just might not like want to play the game ever again. Sorry, I keep thinking of PCs. These changes aren't coming live. But the whole point of experimental is just to see what could work, what couldn't. So this is what got voted in. We'll see how it goes. Honestly, I think what Pharah needs is just make her splash damage a little bit better, I think. And that'd be fine.
I have climbed 300 senior in the past 4 days on Mercy and Ana. I have no idea how.
Oh,
I'm
good
very
job.
tired.
Nice.
KarQ.
Keep climbing, Rincake. You got this. Sometimes you're just better than you think you are. Shadow step voice. Dude, I can't even hear the shadow step anymore. Like, it's so quiet when people are already screaming in your comms and your ears and people are firing like 20 million abilities. This just makes them even more silent. But, all right. I can't even hear it anymore regardless, so. Okay, sure. Earth Shatter now stuns to closer targets up to 3 and maximum range for the normal 2.5. This will kind of put him in line of how he was before. I'm fine with this. Roadhog, I think Roadhog's fine right now. I think Sigma's fine right now that he's 2 seconds. He's still good. Roadhog can be still really good. Helix can hold 2 charges. Damage reduced 40 impact plus 80 explosive to 30 impact plus 50 explosive. Self damage to yourself is less, so you encourage rocket jumping. Wait, this is kind of 80? But you get 2 of them. Pew pew. So if you're at close range, this is pretty good. The long range snipe with the Helix will not be as good because you can't hit 2 in a row at long range. But at close range, we can see how this goes. I'm fine with this. Let's see how this one is. This is the whole point of experimental. This is interesting. I don't disagree nor agree with it. I want to see how this turns out. Okay, hack activation time. Oh, shit. Wait, Sombra, that's a big nerf. Time for, by the time, 1.5 seconds to fully activate a hack? Bruh, I don't know. This kind of kills the hero. I don't like this. Listen, I hate being hacked as Sombra, but you don't want to completely gut a hero. This is literally almost doubling the time to hack. This kind of sounds like ass, not gonna lie. For any Sombra mains. Fitzy in shambles right now. Duration, though, increased. I mean, this doesn't matter if you can never even get the hack to begin with. People want to be CC'd for less time. Translocator cooldown triggered when used or destroyed and is reduced. This is the big killer. No to this. This is effectively almost doubling the time. 80% or whatever. That's, nah. Another way to change Sombra if you feel like. I mean, I feel like Sombra doesn't feel too bad to play against right now. I don't know about you guys. It doesn't feel like she's that annoying at this time. So, turret travel speed. Okay, this doesn't really change too much to Symmetra. This is fine. Torbjorn can hold 2 turrets. Damage and health of turrets reduced, though. 2 turrets and 2 angles, forcing people to look for them. This will affect the lower ranks when there's 2 turrets plucking people on 2 sides. The damage itself isn't the big deal, but the fact that you constantly get plucked at it is really annoying. It's going to force people to have to look here, look here. It'll interrupt Sombra trying to hack because a little damage interrupts it. Mercy won't get herself passive if she gets tagged by one of the 2 turrets and random corners. Imagine if they send an Ash Bob, then you got 2 Torbjorn turrets. You have 3 automatic firing things on the map. Torb Ash. And your little old Mercy trying to bank on your self-regen. This is... I don't know about this. This is fine in high ranks. I don't think this is as big of a deal, especially if the health of the turrets can be killed with different breakpoints. Like 40%. Turret right now is 250 health, so 40% would put it at 150? 150. Good math. Nah. I think Torb's actually pretty good right now. I don't think I would change Torb. Tracer health increased from 150 to 175. Recall cooldown. No. You guys don't know what 25 health does to a hero. This changes the McCree counter. No. Wait, who voted this? What kind of council voted this in? You telling me these guys thought it would be a good idea to make Tracer? How many DPS mains? Who's a Tracer main here? Soon? Say Biobi. They're like, Tracer buffs. Let's just give her 25 health. These two said yes to it, didn't they? That's just a biased take. Well, Tracer to 175 was SBB's idea. course. They're really good. They just want their hero to pop off. This just sounds like let me just throw it in there and see if people don't notice. Hell no. No. This is no. I would no. Just no. Okay. Recall to compensate this. No. This getting pocketed Zen orbed or brig packed. The McCree counter for the breakpoint is gone. Like Junkrat with like, or Helix, like a soldier Helix melee is gone. Anything with 120 melee is kind of gone. And nah, you guys don't know what 25 health does. Brig at 225 health like broke the game. Even nerfing 25, taking 25 health away from her kind of put her in line. 25 is a lot, especially on a slippery hero like Tracer. No. Venom Mine. Damage increased from 75 to 120. Duration changed from 5 to 6 seconds. I feel like people don't even trigger this. This is more, I think you should just have 2 Venom Mines and use it as like a tool. Like more Widows can use it as like a protection tool to block their head. So in a Widow duel, if you put a Venom Mine in front of your face and then you face the other Widow, they shoot your mine instead of your head because you're blocking your head. You just have 2 Venom Mines, keep it low, and then you can have one to protect it against some flankers. I think 2 is fine. Nobody... Like, Venom Mine's a small part of Widow, but it can be very effective. Like, Widow's weakness is flankers. And the other better, a Widow diff, obviously. Like, 75 HP wouldn't matter so much to a Winston, Diva, or Ball diving the Widow, but it could affect the Tracer and Genji diving the Widow decently. So, I think maybe having 2 of them to sniff people out might be fine. I don't know. These don't really change too much. Armor increased by 15 total pool, making more. I think Winston's in a good spot right now. I don't think you need to change Winston. Size reduced, so his hitbox or his model size is reduced. Okay. Reducing the ammo though, and increasing the grappling hook cooldown. And adaptive shield no longer prevents enemies. Well, that's a lot of ball nerfs. Wait. Well, this is a big ball buff. This is a nerf, nerf, and nerf. I think that's a bit too much on ball, I'll be honest with you. This is a buff, yes. This is a buff because having a smaller hitbox makes him like less of a harder to hit. No. Or nerf. Is it a nerf? Size reduction? No, size reduction is a buff. What are you talking about? Collective, thank you for the prime sub. Ameng suggested the ball changes. He actually took a comprehensive view of it. Oh, I guess it works both ways. That's right. The boop. The range on his slam would scale with his size, right? His pile drive and his boops. That's right. I didn't think about that. I only thought about it from one lens. That's correct. I think it's kind of like a give and take a little bit. Harder to hit because he's a bit smaller, but then the abilities all scale to his size. Yeah, sorry. So that's kind of just like an overall change to the hero. I think Amen, because he's skilled ball, he'll still hit his abilities, so I don't think he's worried about it, but it makes him less of a target to hit back. So I don't think ammo needs to be reduced. I don't think grappling con needs to be reduced. The fact that if you can allow enemies to gain ult charge off of you, I think that's a pretty big nerf in ball in itself. I think this and this are good. But again, if you say this is suggested by Ameng, who's like a really, one of the best balls in the world, then, you can take his opinion. This is just my take on it. I think this kind of interesting because it gives power and takes away power. And this is just a nerf. It makes him it gives enemies a chance to get some ult charge off of him. I think that's fine. I don't know about these two. This would come from ball players' experience. I don't have enough ball experience to feel the effects of the ammo, nor this, because I don't play the hero. But as a victim, as a Zenyatta, and as a victim of balls, slams, and boops all the time in the backline, this would feel better for me. So I like this to kind of put him in line a bit, and this is fine. Anyways. He only suggested 1 and 2 for ball, and France does this one. Like, this is huge. So, yeah. Larry Mayhem, thank you for the 3 months. Zarya, range under predictive barrier. Okay, a little buff to put her back. Transcendence, speed multiplier. So, make him faster in Transcendence. Because right now, if you guys don't know, when you're in Transcendence, you can actually do some Zenyatta jumps. I don't think some people know that, but like certain areas and gaps you can't normally cross on regular heroes. When you're in Transcendence, you can hop over like, I don't know, like Lijiang Gardens, you can hop over the bridge to the point and take a shortcut with it. I think one of the players did it in Owl before. This is fine. This is fine. This doesn't change the hero too much fundamentally. This is a lot for Ball, again. Yeah. And that's the suggested experimental card tournament, which will go on March 26th to 28th, testing this patch out. All voted in by pro players and content creators on these panels. We'll see how it goes. Those are my thoughts. Stay tuned.